Okay, we're on the starting screen. We'll go fully live in 4 minutes.
All right, welcome to session 7 of Balance, the Convergence. So, last session, the party got to explore their deeded land and see what that was all about, and shenanigans were had, deals were made, and old knowledge and histories were revealed to the party. I believe there's one day left before the scheduled meeting with the Ogresh Hall and working with him to set a trap for Pink. With that, Cutter, would you like to give the recap while everyone else please give me your 1d12s so we can get the destiny points for this session?
Right. Notes are somewhere. So we found the place that Baracus got a deed for, and we all set up areas to sleep in. Heard some stuff outside, went and investigated, and I kept getting hit in the face with undead burps and passed out and saw horrific visions of a midget vampire murdering everyone that used to be in the guild hall, which was not fun. Lots of headaches. And that's all I remember. Because notes are not pulling up.
The name of the guild hall was found to be Everrest. The symbol of this guild was a warrior sleeping horizontally on top of a long sword. Baraka's Bone Snapper slept in the guild master's room, which had a empty space on two walls, one for a very long sword and one for a long double-bladed axe, both of them two-handed. In your vision, though, it was revealed that the guild master wielded both, one in each hand. This was a very prominent guild, probably one of the best in all of Atheris. Uh, Definitely became prosperous in this fine city back when it was a fine city before it all went to, well, a putrescent pool.
Yes. Uh, we had recovered many items within the guild house. We found a box with treasure that other people struggled to open because of fairy magic or something. But even more important than treasure of ceremonial platinum dagger with pearl and pommel. Not that me really paid a lot of attention to that sort of ornate stuff. Just casual recollection of beautiful dagger. But also ruby mask that speak whispering sounds to Cutter. Uh, Totally not suspicious and probably not an issue ever. Probably, along with a new iron stone which revolves around me, which make me feel more charismatic, more leaderly. Uh, Me find even more important than all these treasures, the treasure of history. Yes, and Baraka's Bone Snapper read about the exploits of Everest. Yes, attempts, many attempts, hatched and designed, but unsuccessful. Ultimately, most tragic. Mm, but to restore to former glory. Yes, yes. We have spoken with uh, carpenters and masons. Yes, with estimates soon to come. Yes, and stout for when not working, and ale for when he is working. That is price for Mason, in addition to whatever else he asks for materials.
Excellent, thank you. The stone, it will be revealed from people who do know later on. In Atheris, this would be not an ion stone, but a stone of Thefaria. She was the now fallen god of knowledge and magic.
Oh,
Mostly goddess of knowledge.
Oh, yes. Me will remember this, surely.
Hopefully, me posting
Yeah.
it in the chat will help.
Thank you.
With that, I think I'm missing Cutter's 1d12 roll.
All right, I was logging in.
And while all this was going on, RT has been toiling away inside the governor's mansion, setting up horrible traps that will spoil any cunning plan that anyone could possibly devise to fight off 4 to 5 strong warriors inside of a cramped dining hall. Artie, would you like to reveal anything of what you've been setting up there?
Artie and Arturo are really handy when it comes to things like this. You know, paranoia, some people call it. Preparation is what I call it. I like this swingy one here. I like it. I think it's really cumbersome, but when it comes and smacks in, it'll cut anything right through. There's a few others, but if you talk about traps, they're less traps and more things to watch out for. So
Ooh, in that case, let's move the party over to the mansion, and you can help me figure out exactly where these things are.
Artie's got to remember.
Hopefully Arturo will help Artie.
Two brains makes one. That's what I say.
So last I recall, there was a nice poison trap that will be shooting poison darts right at this location where the big guy is expected to sit and have his feast of Ogresh. On top of that, a stone statue, which miraculously there was 2 of and not just one, will be able to be pushed onto his head. The same time the poison darts are hitting on him, as well as a potential other trap that was to be decided between RT and whoever else was assisting.
Lore.
I'm pretty proud of the statue one. Taking the original idea, making it better.
Lay it on me.
Oh, so the one I was talking about before, it's actually tied up to the ceiling, and um, I've taken some of the heavier objects and stuff I could find and kind of created this swinging pendulum, but on the front of it is a large axe, what would be like an axe head, and it's meant to come down the is it the center of the table that they're sitting, like here and here?
So the Ogreish is where the O is, and the uh, big guy is expected to sit right where the eye,
Okay.
the cyan eye is.
So it's going to swing down the table. Like this way.
So in
Oh,
that way.
yes.
Okie doke.
Anybody who looks at it, I've actually taken a net and just, there's like some kitchen supplies, some gardening tools, and just random uh,
With that and you spending the entire time doing it, I'm giving it to you. That's the same as taking a 20. As best as you were possibly capable of doing. Uh, Do you accept a 4d10 being the acceptable damage for it?
sounds magnificent.
All right. So I will set that damage to 4
And
And what should his DC? I assume either dexterity for avoiding it or strength to try to catch it.
Oh, if he catches it, it's going to be a bitch for time. But
Oh yeah, we'll see if he does that. But for you, I think we can come up with a. What's your
is 16.
okay? And I'll set the DC to 16.
Cool.
All right, sounds fair to you. Sounds fair to me. All right, so we have that for the swing. I already have the stats for the statue. With that, the poison darts, Cutter, do you have those stats ready for when that happens?
Yep.
Okay. For this, the traps are done. Artie, you know this is the last day. Lomar has. We'll go with Lomar's letting you know where the deed is for the party, or someone has let you know, so you can either go meet them there or request they meet you here. But the carpenter potentially could be by the location this afternoon. But if no one from the party is there, it was acceptable for him to check it out without the party.
Artie feels there's safety in numbers, so he's going to go find the rest of the group.
Okay. All right, going back to the deeded property for such landed gentries. Lomar stays behind at the governor's mansion, though, just to make sure everything's just right. So this Artie, you made it there. The party is inside. Yeah.
Y'all will
Go in,
not
catch
believe
up.
the masterwork I have completed. You're welcome.
Yeah,
Hello?
so the first thing you see when you get there is the doors have been piled up right inconvenient for someone to go through. If you had a really good jump, if you had a good vertical, you might be able to jump over it. But as at your current height, you'd have to tippy toe to even attempt to see.
Can I just climb up on top of it?
For craftsmen, artisans to come for an assessment. They told me later in the day they would arrive, so I'm just kind of house sitting.
Oh, okay. Just an outside appraisal. Done this before. Worked on houses. This is fucked. You see that hole in the ceiling up there?
Yeah, it's a fixer upper for sure.
It's under a support beam. I've seen termites already. I don't. Where did you find this?
It was a really good deal. It was a foreclosure sale, and I picked it up for like nothing. Uh, and I'm me not sure what it gonna cost to rebuild, but me did find some funds in the box, and me
So
stuffed me pockets full.
my bigger question is, how long are we planning to be here if we own a house or a uh, a place that's like a cheese grater over your head?
Well, see, that's the beautiful thing is, once the guild is up and running and we have lots of individuals running it for us, it's now an investment property and it's not a primary residence. Some people frown on that given the current state of the housing market, availability of affordable housing. But me landed gentry now, so you know
So
me
is,
priorities change completely.
does that mean this is home now?
In a manner of speaking.
Yeah,
Yeah.
pick a room. Just don't pick the one that says Nixie on it. That one's mine.
I I don't I don't want to stay here. I want to go home.
Yeah, yeah.
Artie, sorry, real quick. Artie, you noticed that Nixie and Baracus both have a ruby emblem on their chest, almost like it's signifying uh, a position of authority, or yeah, we'll go with that.
Yeah. Maybe you change your mind if you see the place restored. By the way, we have fancy pin for you. You want it on the left or the right? Right. Just hold still.
Just no, last time I got stuck. Please be careful.
Okay, it's gonna go. It's going right on the lapel. Just hold
Alright.
still.
Trying to come with terms that this is. Uh,
Give me a sleight of hands check, Baracus Bone Snapper.
Ooh, goody.
I've had a friend stab me before. It's okay.
Right in the leg.
Nice, nice.
All right. So the pin does drive deep into Artie's chest. No,
Yeah,
Brockus, is this how you put your pin on? This is. Ouch! Ow!
yeah.
Ow!
Me think crimson color of ruby. It signify the blood spilt and the duty paid to the guild house. And what better, more appropriate way than to spill a little blood in the process. It really not yours until you've bled, right?
I don't like the way you think.
Good thing it only my brain.
Your brain has implications on me, it seems.
Given that I am guildmeister, something like that, uh, it is going to hang greatly on my decision. So uh, if you have input, however, you as one of my officers, you have a seat at the table, and the table is still pretty good. Just have a look. It's a pretty nice table.
It's missing a leg.
I wouldn't be too worried about. There's a lot of legs.
Yeah.
To see that we're rebuilding this, given that the people who were previously the residents here tried a coup against the countess, or
Yeah, a baby
Oh my god.
vampire came and like slaughtered all of them.
Baby, baby, baby. Okay, hold on. I need context. Baby, like, was this an adult vampire or an adult who's now a vampire who's just new to being a vampire?
It
Or is
was
there a
halfling,
what? It's a halfling.
halfling vampire.
Oh my god, that's terrifying. That is literally a baby.
Oh yeah, that's right. Give me that roll, that intel roll. That makes sense. Oh, so besides the structure of what you see, the skeletons that you've noticed all have their jaws no longer attached. The jaws have completely dislocated from the rest of the skull.
Is it like the jaws next to it, or is it just no jaws anywhere?
No, the jaws are dislocated and right next to it, so
Okay, okay.
they're not missing. The bones of this place are good. Not to make a bone trader joke. The the craftsmanship was top notch when this was built. The masonry work looks very well. The woodwork needs to be repaired in lots of places. It's rotted and it just hasn't been kept up as it should.
But on the bright side, I have found one of the original craftsmen who worked on it, so there's that.
Yep. The blacksmith thing area and Fletchery are still there, serviceable. Would require some time to set back up and make it a proper place to work. But overall, this place with some tender loving care can be brought back to its glory days, and quite a bit of money.
All right. So here's what's going to happen. These guys are going to come in. They're going to try to highball us. Baracus, you do what you do, but Nixie, I bet you could intimidate the hell out of them, couldn't you? I need you to be the muscle and the fear of when they show up and drive those prices down.
That could go very badly because they may be the only craftsmen in town, given
Yeah.
the blockade and the lack of resources. And I'm just concerned about alienating those who would be our only resource. I mean, I did chance upon this deed, completely free, and there was money just sitting in a hidden chest. So I mean, yeah, why look a gift horse in the mouth and pull all the teeth out? Just I don't know if that's how the saying goes, but it could be bad.
Nagnash comes flying in, uh, excited, and looks at you and looks around and looks very disappointed.
Oh, me sorry, Nagnash. Me false alarm. No horse. No horse. Maybe next time. Daddy buy you brand new horse when we can get you one. He has lots of money now, but the horses we kind of ran through them, buddy. So we'll work on that. You ate the last one. I hope it was good.
Hold your horses, is what he's saying.
If I had
Nag
any, we wouldn't be holding them for long.
There's
stares
not
down at
Also,
the
enough
dwarf.
like, they wanted some like alcohol, so maybe we can like get them drunk and then negotiate.
Exactly right. You got to finesse them. Much better than intimidation. I like where your head's at, Nixie.
Nagnash
Uh,
sniffs and Artie, and then snorts, shaking its head. It's not hungry enough yet, and flies off.
no. Listen, no. It looks over at Brockus. No. Back at Nagnash. No.
I don't know what's going on. Everything's fine, right?
Wait, you don't know what's going on? This is your bird. Like, you talk to it and you don't know what's going on? It looked at me. It sniffed me.
I,
Smelled
I,
not food.
I don't know what you're talking about. I think everything's good.
You have more holes in what you're saying than the fucking roof right now. I'm just fucking. He goes over. He looks to see if there's anything he can use to start brewing up some meat or something for these people. He's like, well, if we get fucking punch them, I guess we'll just get them drunk.
No, this is very specific. They're ale for certain occasions and stout for others. Meat did not enter into the conversation.
If you investigate and try to find any alcohol, you will come up short. There was a place that looks like they used to get water to help brew,
I was gonna try to
but
make it.
yeah, as you know, the water supply here is putrid completely.
Anybody
But
have
that's
water
why you
I can use?
boil it.
Hold on. I may
How do
have-
you think you make beer? That's you take the putrid water, you boil it.
All right, if you want to make a putrid water beer, go for it.
I rummage through my bag and I look at it for a second and I have let me see, make sure it works this way. Could, I'll ask you, DM. I have a robe of useful items. Would I be able to pull off a patch off that thing for a jug of water, or let's see, does it even have water in there? Fuck it. I'm pulling for a mastiff, 2 of them.
And now you have guard dogs. One or two of them may get eaten. No promises.
Okay.
So you're gonna need some dark roasted malted barley for the stout. I'm just a little bit of knowledge on that. Just drop on you for the stout. It's very very particular. Ale and grains you can use for that. We'll talk later, but really, dark roasted malted barley is for the stouts pretty essential.
Also, how soon do we need this by? Because, like, beer takes, like, a month to ferment.
So I'm rolling up what's on the patch, the robe of useful items.
No, there's no water or alcohol.
And first thing on it was you got mastiffs, 2 of them.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great. I know someone you can make their friends with. The second one was a riding horse with saddlebags.
Listen, that's called my oh shit patch.
So I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say that when it dies, it magically disappears. So that may not work as well as you think.
It's a distraction. Hey, it's not him for the moment.
In a
It-
pinch.
Yeah, and in a pinch is not getting eaten.
So,
Nope. According to this, the robe is magical. The items that come out of it are not.
Interesting. That does.
However, once you pull it out, it's used. It's a one-use patch.
Fascinating. So they're not considered a summon. Dope.
Yep.
so would Nixie be able to, like, purify some water?
If she has the spell, yes.
No, there's mundane ways to purify water.
Oh,
you're
going to use a mundane way. You can attempt it.
Okay.
Does
What would you like
Wizard
me to
have
roll?
prestidigitate?
Yes, the wizard does.
Oh, that would be handy.
Hey, did we have a wizard?
I think you left him back at the mansion.
Good. Do we need to go back there, or do we need to hang out
Anyways.
here longer?
So, why don't we just get a fire going in the kitchen and then we can boil some water. And, like, if we need to, if it's too bad, we can evaporate it out and we'll get nice, clean, fresh water. It's easy. It's really not that hard.
Yeah, but doesn't that take a while to condense? We're gonna have a lot of weird solids at the bottom of the pot. I just feel like that's gonna be a really stinky pot.
I mean, would you rather have nice, fresh water or stinky pot? Or
I think a 15-minute jaunt over to the other place to get the prestidigitating wizard might be in order.
I mean, but, like, how much water can you get this way? This way we
You
can get
would be
infinite water.
amazed. You would be amazed how fast they can do their works. I have known mages, and orcs are naturally distrustful of magic, but in this particular circumstance, I find them to be most refreshing.
Prestidigitate can't cleanse water.
Truly?
It can clean or soil an object no larger than one foot, but it doesn't say
There's
purify
like
water.
literally a spell that's called like purify food and water.
Mm,
That's the one that is required. But I was going to definitely let you try prestidigitation.
It's the prettiest water you've ever seen.
I'm gonna go find a pot.
The kitchen is one of the more messed up locations in this place. There is a pot.
Is there a big pot like over the fire, like a cauldron?
There is. That one is not cracked. The
Cool.
other pots that you find are.
I'm gonna pick it up and I'm gonna do this outside. Because
If I can mend those other pots if we need more pots.
You can start mending if you want. Just let me know which room. So the party is setting up pot. They're fixing pots, and starting to boil water. Correct? Is this what I'm hearing?
yeah, I'm boiling out some water, and I'm gonna like see if anyone has some like metal to put over it, like a nice lid to collect all the steam. Yeah, is there a lid for this thing?
Should there be a lid for it?
Would there be a lid over a
Yes, yes, there would.
pot? Yeah, sure. Why not?
Okay, I get the lid and the pot, and I go to the campfire outside, and I get some sticks to like hover it over the fire.
Okay.
Oh, I should get another pot for the steam to settle in. Yes, that's a good idea. Another pot.
Nope, there's not another fixed pot yet. Unless Bonnie has fixed it.
I am working on fixing. When she said to fix one up, I work on fixing it up.
It
Oh.
takes
It takes
you
you
a few
castings of
mending.
mending, but you get it.
So, you're an artificer, right? Do you know how to make a condenser?
Explain to me how Nixie knows what that is.
I was actually about to ask, what the fuck? Nixie, you have extremely impressive knowledge.
Well,
From a
you know,
very, very
like,
dumb book.
so the other books in the lab, there were lots of them. And, like, one of them was about making beer, because, like, you know, and sometimes the steam goes up and they want it condensed back into water. It's a thing.
You know,
I would require 1 destiny point for Artie to know this. For you, it would be 2, and you only have 1. So if Artie
Roll
wants
a
to
9.
know what a condenser is, yeah, you're the only one who gave the party one.
Oh, yikes.
Yeah, 6 and below gives a point to me. You know what? No, I'm gonna burn a DM point and let you have this knowledge. I'll let you have this forbidden knowledge.
the dwarf knows how to make beer somehow.
I'm
Or
shocked.
No. Yeah, okay, fine. I'll give it to the dwarf. Just because I want y'all to brew something with the water from this river,
Hey,
this source of water.
I've heard that the local breweries are great sellers. Okay, they're really what the people are wanting nowadays. That hometown touch. Just saying.
It's microbrewers. Yeah.
Exactly. It's more of a hobby than a business.
And like, who hasn't lived in the wilderness doesn't know how to purify water? That's just crazy.
Sometimes you just drink and poop next day. Hi, Jason.
Hello.
That was a good one. So around this time, Wally the carpenter shows up and wants to inspect the place and sees that y'all are there. It looks like y'all are there to greet him.
Yeah.
Yeah, yes, indeed.
See if I can get the voice right for him because my voice is already scratched up. I was able to make it. Please, do you want to show me what's the worst, or want me to look around on my own?
I think it probably best if you make first a bit of a
Here you go.
look.
Well, I got this. Uh, and I show him around the area.
Okay, before you even start showing him the area, he looks at the doors and his the color goes from his skin.
Don't
It-
get me started.
uh, uh,
Listen, I wasn't here for this part. I I don't know what to say to this. I'm sorry.
A considerable amount of damage was done that we could neither conceal nor want to. Um, please make yourself as comfortable as you can walking the perimeter and the interior building. You will find much of it in great disrepair. And
Yeah, we're pretty sure.
we ask only for an honest assessment and understand that the undertaking may be laborious.
Yeah, we're pretty sure there was a great battle here and lots of stuff got destroyed.
uh-huh. Still very much taken aback by the damage done to the very well crafted, beautifully adorned front doors of this hall. Uh, so yeah, he
Is
lets Artie lead him along.
that your work?
He shakes his head. Bef- before my time, it's so beautiful.
It
Hey,
was.
you can make it better. I believe in you, buddy.
Uh, uh, excuse me, unprofessional. Lead on. Hopefully that's the worst of the damage.
And he keeps walking.
All right. Following you, he just gets more forlorn. Lots of work to do. He sees the great table, and although it's banged up and beaten, uh, it's still very functional. In fact, he apart from smoothing it out for safety, he wouldn't go so far as to recommend replacing it. In fact, sustaining it for the history's sake would be an honor to him. Of course, he would still charge, but it would not be as much. In fact, adding a lacquer on top to where it protects and smooths things out is his recommendation for that. And he gives you a price room by room as far as the carpentry work that would go into it. Some of these rooms are actually in no need of repair. The map room, the treasure store room is also very well, but the beds would need to be redone. The kitchen area, all the wood implements and tables would need to be redone. The fine uh, platform that's used for performances in the Great Hall would need to be redone. So he has prices for each one of those, and it adds up to a few 100,000 in total.
100,000?
Copper.
Yes, so 50,000 gold for the uh, carpentry work in the dining hall room alone.
Wait, what? What kind of inflation is this? No one's got that type of money in this town.
Scarcity.
I'm sorry, but if you want to preserve this table, I mean, you could use it as is, but if you want to preserve it as it should be, then that with the platform and the new chairs and fixing the guild master's chair, of course, and if there's proper lieutenants, if you go by rank order with more adorning chairs as you rank up, that would actually be in addition to this. Fixing the grand doors themselves, I'm being generous in baking it into the price, but that alone would be 10,000.
Hey, Baracus, how much we got again?
We're a long ways off.
Yeah.
I might have given you the price with the bad economy, and I'm looking at the price for the good economy. So let me double check this real quick.
Baracus has known small castles and keeps to costing upwards of maybe 50,000 gold in the Forgotten Realms, requiring 400 days to build. But um, these sums are in great excess of that. Castles, mind you.
Did you add an extra 0 like you are wont to do? Sometimes. All the time.
No, so that was in a normal economy. So 1/5 that for this economy. So still pricey, but the rest of the carpentry work for everything else that you would need to be done is, let's see. So 400 gold pieces for the kitchen. Unless y'all wanted to go very luxurious, and then it would be the same price for the dining hall.
What would a standard working person's kitchen of wood cost? Because I think perhaps the non-Grand Hall areas would benefit from a more utilitarian construction. Uh, many individuals in a working guild, I would think, yeah, probably something a little cheaper for non-Grand Hall.
So that's what the 400 gold gets you, the basic.
So,
This is the initial cost that he's giving to all of you.
I told y'all, should have gave him the beer.
we don't
Yeah,
have any beer.
That was the Mason.
Oh, so the bill gets larger? Ha 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 ha. Let's crank it up, boys.
Yeah, this is simply for the cost of wood.
Oh, well, like I said, this is kind of the way this goes, guys.
Just in case y'all want to see it, I'm using these prices and dividing by 5 for this economy. So if you want to go to that website and check it out, feel free. I like this website, thievesguild.cc. I get a lot of stuff from them.
This is including the walls.
He was going to redo the walls.
From
wood
hewn
paneling.
stone?
The wood paneling. You don't want engraved wood paneling through it? You don't want me to engrave in wood the long
No.
panels on
Like the
walls.
walls on this website are ground walls are made of hewn stone.
Okay. I'm using it for the pricing alone.
We'll make plenty of money, guys.
So, a common area fancy is like 3,000 GP divided by 5 would be like 500 GP. Oh, here's dining hall.
Anyways, I don't want to make this a shopping session for this, but I did want to get y'all this information. So these are the initial prices. If y'all want to try to haggle, feel free. If you want to try to lump it up, get better deals, try to work for him, try to see if he would take less if y'all were to do him a favor. Lots of avenues, but the prices are initially what I'm giving you with the divided by 5. Again, apologies for screwing that up at the beginning. Did I derail us too much with that?
Nope, I'm good.
All right. So with that, he gives you his well drawn up assessment of what it is, with what he believes he can do, ranging from very fancy to common. And when he goes fancy, he does go into details of how he would do it and what it would bring. So again, the wooden panels depicting the party's epic adventures, bringing fame and glory and drawing people into the establishment. Comfortable wooden chairs and what have you. If the party also wants to convert one of these rooms into something else, that's also on the table.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm not sure about these prices. Not sure about them at all. But I'll just say that, like, we can get some of the necessities done, like the doors put back on the hinges and small things at first. And then over time, we might get more services.
Very well. Please rest on it. No need to make a decision today. This was just an assessment. I wouldn't be able to begin work immediately, anyways. If you'd like to negotiate a better deal, please let me know. You know where I'm at. And he looks down at the broken doors and just shakes his head and walks away if the party does not wish to continue speaking with him. And he departs. With that, party, what do y'all want to do now?
Do we have any other appointments for
Party.
um
Go ahead.
for people coming by, or should we go collect the wizard? I is there 1, 2 wizard? Is there any more?
We were still waiting on the stonemason, but after hearing from the carpenter, I am not encouraged.
Yeah. It's like his prices were to, like, tear everything out and start over. We might want a guy who, like, just wants to fix what we got.
From what I understood earlier, not a lot of choices, so this may be our only guy. But here, I'll handle the next conversation. Maybe we should rally everyone together and figure out what our next step is.
Reminder: the stonemason was not going to be able to visit until next week.
Okay, understood.
Okay, I'm gonna go back to filtering water
Okay.
with my 2 pots and a pipe or something.
And party, please correct me if I'm wrong. I believe this evening was the evening to meet with Paul.
You got kind of quiet there at the end. What did you say?
This is the evening you would be meeting with Paul for the ambush of the big guy.
Okay. You guys ready for that?
Oh, I'm so ready.
Ruckus Cutter?
Yeah, sure thing.
Yep.
Apologies. Back to the big map. So, Cutter, you were of the understanding that you were playing along and escorting the Ogresh up to the governor's mansion, and that's where the big guy would meet with you, and that is where you would have the ambush. Are you expecting him to meet y'all there, or are you planning on picking him up?
We haven't heard anything from him at all.
Nope, not in the last week. So I was wondering how y'all wanted to play that.
He said he'd meet us there.
Okay, and you're sticking with that. With that, there's some time left before the evening actually occurs. I'm gonna drop y'all into the mansion. The Ogresh is on his way. Any final preparations before he arrives?
Attach my poisons to the statue, and that should be it.
Okay, that would be Cutter's prep.
I am looking up something really quick.
Okay,
Right,
Artie is looking through his schematics and trying to remember what it was he wanted to do. Rockets, what are you doing to prepare? Sorry, Nixie.
Well, I just want to use bolstering magic on myself right before he comes in.
Who comes in?
The bone guy?
Okay. So once the big guy enters the dining hall, correct?
No, before he enters the dining hall.
Okay, so when he enters the mansion?
Yes.
Okay. Yes, Baraka's Bone Snapper. Do we lose you?
Still here.
Oh, nice. So with that, is Brockus doing anything before the big confrontation to prepare any rituals for ambushing?
None that he feels would avail him much good in this world.
All right.
Um,
Good.
I have this magic pigment. How much of it do I have? That I can do as I've described it in my notes so eloquently. Wily coyote draw doors, pits, and uh, things of that nature.
Okay. That's a magic item, I believe.
Yes.
Do you remember the actual name of that? Because I know it's not
No,
magic. Isn't it?
I did not get the actual name of it.
It's like paint or something? No?
Yeah, it's some sort of paint. Yeah, I got it off of a painting.
Marvelous pigments.
There you go.
So typically found blah blah blah. These pigments allow you to create three-dimensional objects by painting them in 2 dimensions. The paint flows from the brush to form the desired objects as you create on its image. Doo-doo. Covers 1,000 square feet of surface, which lets you create inanimate objects or terrain features such as doors, pits, flowers, trees, cells, rooms, or weapons that are up to 10,000 cubic feet. It takes 10 minutes to cover 100 square feet. When you complete the painting, the object or terrain feature depicted becomes real, non-magical item. Thus
Okay.
painting a door.
So, I look to the party. I got an idea, guys. It's a little risky, but I think it might be really cool. Do we don't care about either of these people at the table, do we?
The ogres could be useful.
Yes, ogres tend to be valuable for their counsel.
Okay. Um, fair enough. Um, I'm going. My idea. I can create a pit. Um, think I can, with this magic stuff, I can hide under the table, and when he sits down or gets close enough, I can complete my drawing, and I can fall into the pit. Um, what do y'all think?
It's worth a try to drop statue on.
Anybody have concerns? Feel alright about the plan? I feel like a guy in a hole is a lot easier to beat than a guy not in a hole.
So explain it to me like I'm 5.
Uh, I'm going to create a cartoon hole in the ground while he's on top of it.
The hole is how deep?
How deep will the hole be when do I know?
Um, it would be, let's see, 100 squares, so 10 by 10 squares is how much you can do.
I can make it pretty deep. Um, I have another idea. Uh, I have a patch I can use, and I can just slide that underneath there and just make a pit that's a little bit bigger. But I can make this one as big a little bit bigger if we want to. But the pit won't happen until I complete the painting. That way we don't try to just put a big old carpet over a whole kind of trick. Then tried that on straw, it didn't work. Vampires fly.
Vampire.
Artie's run into Strahd before. Back in his old day. He actually doesn't like vampires and kind of clambers up. Artie kind of seeing nobody has anything. He's like, all right, do we know how soon he'll be here? I only have a few minutes with the to be invisible down here. But I can hide, and then I can as soon as they come in, hopefully they don't take longer than 10 minutes to sit down.
Because it's just supposed to be the Ogresh and Cutter here, really. Right? The rest of us aren't even supposed to be here.
That's why I'm hiding.
For a reminder, there is a second floor that covers 10 feet out. So these 10 feet, there's a second story floor, but everything else from here to here
Hey, do y'all
is
want to move the
all open.
statue from where it is to over the top here? That way, when we make the pit, we can push a statue on top of them over the pit. I don't think the statue's in place yet.
The
Well,
statue's
that's
on
where
the
the hole in the
second floor.
banister is.
Yep.
Okay, it is on that. Okay, I'm just making sure it's on that spot.
Well,
So that's what I'm gonna do. What is everybody else doing? I have honestly, I don't know what we're doing right now. I just know this is the guy we don't want to live, and something called an ogrish. Sounds like an ogre. I'm just going to assume some things here, but not the bad guy. Great battle plan, guys.
well, with that, speeding, going at the speed of plot, Ogresh arrives and enters. Ah, friends! Good to be here. You didn't bring any food. No matter. All right, let me get to a seat of honor. Ooh, lovely, lovely. Is this where I should sit? As
It's hard.
far away from his
It's hard,
grasp
though.
as possible?
It will work.
Sorry, guys, I'm also fighting a bad cough. So I heard Cutter say something, but I didn't catch it.
I said that'll work.
That's not the booby trap chair next to the fireplace. Are we not going with that plan anymore?
It is.
The one the ogre sat in?
He hasn't sat down yet. He has pulled out a bag and he's digging around in it. I'm hoping someone stops him from sitting in it.
I kind of was thinking he wasn't supposed to.
It's been a while. I don't even remember.
It's been
where
over a month, so I'm
anything is.
lots of grace on this one.
Yeah, I would have indicated that that'd be a bad idea.
All right, and he'll take you up on that, and we'll not sit there. Very well, very well. Have you planned where I should be? And he spreads out a cloth onto the table that has lots of food. As soon as I can find the token for it. There we go. Looks like it's all the same stuff, but it's various types of. And he's ready to feast. Now he'll be coming in. Have you thought of how you want to serve me up to him?
What's your opinion of butter basting?
Jesus Christ, what kind of plan are we coming up with here? Oh, hi, I'm Marty, by the way. Holy crap, you are gigantic.
No, I'm huge. Large, really. But I understand. You're almost small.
Some say I would measure up to a horse.
Uh-oh, Nagnash is coming.
Hide!
Don't say the H word.
Well, if
can
we
make
can
that
make
a
that a
thing.
thing, I'll be so happy.
All I know is that I stand up here and I push the statue.
Yes, yes. Butter basting? No, I don't want to be disrobed for this.
Because I was going to say, you're already glistening.
And I give him a smile and a wry wink.
Oh, that's what that feels like. I don't know how to take this.
Just
Oh,
spreading the love around, equal opportunity. Been wooing everyone this week.
oh, daggum it. I'm not gonna take your inspiration away, but I want to. Oh man.
So the plan is we're going to serve you up to somebody.
Yes,
Right
actually.
death is where we need him to sit.
Excellent. Here. And he pulls out another bag that has a picnic basket and unfurls it on the other side of it. Now, on these picnic baskets are lots of food, none of which have bones. So, making that clear. But there is plenty of meat. He recommends that everyone dive in if they so choose, and he's almost completed one meal all by himself. Now, should I be unconscious when he comes in, or would you prefer me to still have some fight left in me?
Honestly, it's up to you.
As my biggest concern is your safety in this situation, because obviously we've agreed to some very particular setup here about eating. Can you, once we spring our trap, can you at least make yourself free of the situation?
Oh, absolutely.
At minimum, try that. If things go really, really south, you know, uh, self-preservation, man. I get it.
He produces uh, these manacles that he puts on his wrists, and he demonstrates for you that they break away, but they look like they're the real deal. Even to you, Artie, you would have to really inspect them up close to see the false hooks. So he has
Man
that
with brains.
prepared. Yep. He pulls out this makeup kit and slaps it onto his face, and the entire left side of his face now looks bloodied and bruised, glistening such. And he looks at Artie, who's very close to him, and just slaps a little bit uh, onto you, and you now appear bruised on your face. You don't feel bruised, but you look it.
This is so cool. Do you have any spare?
Mm, yes. Let's see. No, the warrior should appear to be strong and make it convincing that he got me. The blue one here, and he slaps him on Lomar, and Lomar is now black and blue. And Hutter, he looks at you and thinks out loud, "I'm not sure what it will do to your skin," and he slaps it onto you. And your face is the image you're projecting, but blue, or not blue, but bruised. It hits the mask, and the mask gleefully laughs into your subconscious or into your mind. Yes, more deception. We should make friends with him.
That's his plan.
Ah, such good friends you have. Maybe we'll keep them.
That's a little scary.
Mhm. And let's see. Mr. Pink has not yet arrived. Would you want to send for him, or do you want to wait until his arrival?
Better. It's your circus.
Uh, I'd say wait. And if he doesn't arrive in the next few hours, send for him.
Okay. About an hour pass, and the meals have all disappeared, and the Ogresh uh, begrudgingly only puts out one more and says he wouldn't believe that I wouldn't finish most of it and will suffer through not eating all of it, but is ready to be in position. And here comes the man of honor. You hear the governor's mansion door creak loudly as he enters in. Yeah, kept the bird outside just to welcome me. So nice, so thoughtful. Full string magic done. Ah, there we go. All set up for me. So thoughtful.
You're welcome.
Hmm. Well, it would be such a disservice to not eat it here in this grand place you set up. So fine. And he sees Lomar on one side and Baracus Bone Snapper on the other as he enters. Does anyone say anything to him besides Cutter? And also, one quick check. Everyone is where they wanted to be for this, correct?
I'm under the table.
I am.
Okay. Baracus Bone Snapper?
Sure.
Oh, I just saw your GIF and that's haunting to me. Boneless pizza.
You did say all the food was boneless, so I had a moment.
Yeah, I'm good.
So forgive me because the logistics are sometimes confusing. The We have several different trap spots, but with regards to the hole that was supposed to be created, that was supposed to go off in the spot that's got the numerous different lettered colored symbols, or is that going off somewhere else?
Artie, can you show me
It's
where you...
under. Yeah, sorry. It's it's underneath the same area. I've drawn it out, and it's um the the 10 feet deep.
Okay. And in terms of its width,
I think it was. It's 10 by 10 by 10. No, yeah.
so is it going to take up these 4 squares?
Uh, yeah, it's going to be the not under the table, but in front of it, where it they would be standing.
Yeah, it's a
Like
pretty
that.
it's a pretty big spot. I do not wish to be in the square, so I guess I'm fine where I am.
So for that, it's drawn out. How is he not seeing this? I didn't ask that in the prep.
I'm going to use. Oh, that's right.
Boom, 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 boom,
Oh,
boom.
he doesn't, or he could completely see it. I did obscure it at all.
And
So you do have do you want to use a destiny point to not have done that?
I'm good if the team doesn't have anything else to do with it.
so are we not using the statue dropping plan? Because that would be where the hole is, right?
It would still work if there was the hole. Problem is
Okay.
the hole is very obvious with nothing covering it up.
Right.
So I'm not even gonna make you burn a destiny point. I'm just gonna say you thought it through and ended up not doing it. So no hole,
No plot hole.
no plot hole, unless you want to put the plot hole underneath the table.
No, it's. I mean, this is because under the table is where I am, and Artie doesn't do well with falling.
All right. So is anyone directing him on where to go, or he's in the
I
room and?
pulled the chair out for him.
Oh, okay. Thank you. All right. I was hoping someone would guide him to the right seat to go. All right. For this one, I'm gonna need a deception check from Cutter. This is to see if this works.
Yeah.
And y'all had plenty of time to set all this stuff up, so you have advantage. Good thing you got plenty of time to set all this stuff up, right?
I was ready to burn inspiration.
Yep, you got it. So he's willing to sit. And as soon as he sits down, perhaps go off. And Cutter, give me the poison check.
3 con saves.
Okay, 3 con saves.
I pushed the thing.
Yeah, and the statue falls on him. Let me get you those con saves while I roll that damage out.
I raise aloft my axe and beat the ever-living blank out of him.
It's going to be hard 10 feet down.
Ooh, dang.
We still go with the whole theory?
Oh, I'm
No,
completing.
sorry.
No, I'm completing the hole as soon as he gets smackety wappity by all the things and letting them fall in.
Where's that page? There's that page.
Oh, damn. Okay.
He tied it. 15 tied it. Oh well.
So statue crushes on top of him, breaking. Shortly after, or while that's happening, poison darts hitting him, but it seems like he's making the saves, correct?
He made the saves for all of them, yes. As far as the paralyzed or unconscious condition, there is one he takes some damage. Where is it? 3d6.
All right, please roll it for me. And this is poison damage, correct?
Correct.
He doesn't like that at all. The statue crumbles on him. He takes the hit, pretty good and it crumbles, but it was a huge blow. You actually see some of the bones in his shoulder crack because a lot of his bones are visible outside of his, alongside his skin and even through his clothes. Poison darts hit him. It seems like he shrugs most of it off, but he yells out when he takes the pain from that. And the swinging of Artie's smacks him pretty good for 12 points of damage. And that one, he actually tried to uh, hold it off, but yep, didn't make it.
And now the hole.
With that, let me get initiatives. Y'all are doing a surprise round, so I don't mind what order y'all do it in.
Do I get to complete my hole?
It takes 10 minutes
Oh, for it to come to?
to set it up. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Sorry,
Alright.
it was a good plan. It was a good plan.
Okay.
Okay, so I get off my 3 basic attacks and the well, if you're permitting it, but I don't know if it's only 1 attack.
Yeah, you get the a full action, so it's a full round.
Okay, I'll just run through the 2 hit numbers, and I'm guessing we're gonna have some misses. 13, 16,
Nope.
and the last is 28.
28 hits. For brevity's sake, his AC in this phase is 20.
Oh, that's
Copy
not
that.
bad. Ignore all of that. My bad.
Okay. For the damage, you want me to go ahead and roll that, or
Yes, please. For the one you got him with. Oh my gosh, Cutter.
That's what I needed. Sorry.
There you go. Two-handed, I'm assuming, against this guy.
yep.
Right, and that is a magical weapon. You cleave through, and he feels it.
Excellent.
That was Baracus on his turn. Uh, Nixie, you push down the statue, as was the plan, correct?
Yep.
And you uh, did you want to try to follow that up? Because if you pushed it down with it, you could have had an action with your for that surprise round beyond that.
Um, I
Ooh.
guess I'll rage.
Okay. So you're raging during the surprise round. Cutter, explain to me what the heck just happened, because that was a lot of rolls.
I rolled longbow instead of rapier.
Okay.
So I get my attacks in, and just the 3, not the 6. So ignore the first 3. And I'm adding maths now.
Okay.
Plus that. Oh, I lost count.
All right. Well, Cutter's mathing. Artie, I know that
Uh,
screwed me up a few times today, so apologies.
Artie reaches into his pack and pulls out the pit from or the pits patch and slaps it down underneath him.
Oh, there we go. We'll resolve that after Cutter gets his stuff in.
Yeah.
So what does that do to him?
It creates a 10 foot by 10 foot, 10 foot, 10 foot, 10 foot pit when you put it on the floor.
Okay, so that'll definitely work. What does that? I'm gonna say like he doesn't even have a chance to react with this one. but so he'll be at the bottom of a 10-foot pit. After Cutter figures out if he did any damage.
I'm up at 60 so far.
Nice.
I have not rolled well.
That's alright. This guy's beefy. And during this surprise round, the Ogresh tears away, disengages.
82. 82 total.
82 total. And that's magical weapon, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. And the Ogresh is sanctuaried. So no damage in or out. He's just observing. And the Bone Trader is now at the bottom of a pit. Not a deep pit, but still a pit.
Snap.
That. And does Lomar pull anything off Cutter?
I'm jumping between so much. Yeah, he's gonna do. Where is it?
Ooh.
Yup.
Only made 13.
Oh snap! I forgot to double all my rolls. That's why it was so low.
Oh, you critted or?
Yeah, it's a surprise round, so everything crits.
Okay, you mind if we just double that number for this?
Yeah, that'll work. So it's
Okay.
100. Let's just go 160 because I don't want to math.
I'm just gonna add an additional 78.
Okay,
Because I already added the first 78.
that works too.
So what did the failing the dexterity save do?
Failing the dexterity save. Oh, I did not link that. My bad. Is okay. So on a failed save, he takes the damage.
Oh, okay.
So it's a saver kind of thing.
Okay. And would you mind resolving what Lomar does this round?
The initiative round. Oh yeah, I should initiative Lomar too.
Thank you. You just changed your initiative.
Ah, dang it.
Don't worry.
We were both
I'll
8 before anyway.
No, Artie's was 21.
I got like a 24 for initiative. Yeah.
I never rolled mine.
Yep, awesome. If you would not mind doing so. Wasn't a big deal until after this surprise.
It's saying you wanted to send the result of this roll to the turn tracker, but no valid token was selected.
Oh, you have to click on Baracus Bone Snapper for it to show up.
Oh, I lied. It was a 22.
Let's see if this is epic enough. Hopefully it picks up. If not, I'll switch it. All right, I see everyone's initiative. Is that music good for everyone? Too loud? Too soft?
Sounds good to me.
Sounds good.
Awesome.
Yep.
Just it was way too quiet for something like this. All right, and that top of a niche cutter. The trap has been sprung. Almost all your prepared traps have gone off, and the bone trader is now at the bottom of a 10-foot pit. And it is your turn. What are
I'm
you
doing my parkour path up to the roof or the roof balcony.
Okay. Your the standard acrobatics is good enough to get you up there, no problem.
Gotcha.
And athletics,
Yeah.
so from there,
Actions is the longbow.
go for it. Apart from your allies being over him, you've got advantage because you're literally shooting a bone trader in a hole.
Cool. So 20 damage, and honestly, that's all I've got for this round.
Okay. Artie, it is your turn. You got a bone trader in a hole, exactly like you like. You know, Brockus Bone Snapper is ready behind you to attack as well. What are you doing?
Hey guys, you know what's really cool? When you're in a hole, lightning, and he casts lightning, just straight down in the fucking hole.
I don't get it.
All right. So, what does he need to do against your lightning?
I don't know how he's going to make a dexterity save against me shooting a lightning bolt into a hole his size, but that's what he does.
20.
Yeah, I got to give it to him. I'm gonna give it to him with a disadvantage because, like you said, it's a hole literally his size. But we'll see. He's got some funky stuff.
You can skinny your way out of it.
No, no, I can't.
I said skinny. He's not skinny.
Yeah, and he's not fat either. He's just big boned.
Artie's laughing maniacally at his terrible joke.
Awesome. All right, how much damage does he take?
29 lightning.
All right. Yeah, that hurts him. He not a fan. Anything else?
That's my action.
All right, Roger. With that, Baraka's Bone Snapper. Lightning has been cast down into the pit. And, I mean, the Bone Trader's head is right at your foot level. And you know it's his turn next. What are you doing?
Is it safe to assume I have advantage on my attacks?
You do. This is whack-a-mole.
Excellent. I would like to take 4 attacks at advantage.
By all means, do so. It. Oh yeah, that's right. With advantage, double check and make sure you don't get a crit.
Okay, so the second one is a 20.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's right. So 21, 20 for the second, 17 for the third.
Third one will miss, I'm
Miss.
assuming. Yeah.
Yep.
And then fourth attack.
Little
Yikes.
off of this.
Yeah, some of these rolls, I wish I was rolling my own physical dice.
Yeah, I hear you on that. But I mean,
Okay, so that's 2 that got through.
yep.
Okay, so 16 and 10, 26 points total.
It all goes through. You can feel every single one of those landed. As you're driving into them with your axe, it breaks the skin, but as soon as it hits the bone, you feel it just cutting and breaking into it. Literally, you are snapping his bones with each cleave. You're living up to your namesake.
Fantastic.
And with that, it's his turn.
How tall is this motherfucker?
10 feet.
Jesus. I calculated wrong.
Yeah, it takes him no effort whatsoever. Uh, he just kind of jumps, picks himself up, and as he's doing that, he's going to get off of that and shoot. He's going to climb on top of the freaking table so that, uh, yeah, he is going to have advantage against Baraka's bone snap. And let's see how this goes. Multi attack. He will take 3 bone club attacks and 1 skelisuck per round.
And I cast shield.
Ooh. The second one,
Very first, well, let me see. Did the first one go through or not?
the first one, he swings at you, and actually, what you see is he throws his right arm out, and one of actually several of the bones come leaping out of the forearm into his hand into a giant bone club, and he swings it down at you. The first one he misses because you're able to dodge it deftly, and then he swings again, and that one looks like it's going to hit you.
Okay. On the second attack, that appears like it's going to hit me. So I sort of deftly sort of anticipate the blows as they're coming in, and I sort of seem to raise my plate arm and try to like cause it to glance off me as if I see the attack coming, and just kind of push it away with my arm, and it falls off my body. And the third attack was that it would have been a crit.
Yeah, except you have adamantine.
I sure do, and that is the second attempted crit on me, and I am always grateful for it.
um, I question about your AC and shield. It only bumps
So
you up
my
to.
AC, yeah, so that shield would put my AC at a 23.
Right.
Now it negates the crit for the purposes of damage, but I don't think it impacts that it hits. I think a hit is a hit is a hit
Mhm.
when it comes to adamantine, so I believe it should still hit me regardless.
Right. But with shield, that +5 gets you at 23, and he hits a 23.
Yeah, but it won't crit.
The 28's a crit, but I'm just saying, even with shield, he'll hit you twice.
Yeah, yeah, but no crits.
Crit.
So
Okay.
okay. So it was 20. Oh, okay. I missed that. I was looking at 22 where it said bludgeoning, and I thought that was the total amount for the hit for a second.
Oh,
Okay.
okay. Yeah. I didn't want you to burn a spell slot.
Yeah. No,
You
that makes perfect sense. Yeah, no. Yeah, that won't work for me then. So yeah, I act as though I glanced it off. Maybe that was the first one, but otherwise, yeah, two hits right to the face.
All right. And so with that, yeah, that's going to be 22 points, and then just 18.
Okay.
Additional to that, and the Skella suck. And see how this one plays out. This one, I'm I'm not giving him advantage on this because this one's a little bit different on how it works. But a 19 does hit your AC, but you do have a reaction. So if you were to shield this off some way, you would avoid it.
You mean like the shield?
Yeah, like that.
Yeah. Let's do that.
Okay, good call. With this, the bone that he was using as a club, he drives down with it, and it looks like he's trying to pierce your skin, and an opening comes out of that bone pierce. It looks like it's trying to suck in, but you're able to avoid it.
Nice.
Thank goodness, because that one sucks. Skeletons again. And with that, it is going to be Lomar's turn. And we have the Nixie on deck just after Lomar. Covering for Lomar tonight is Cutter. Cutter, what is Lomar doing?
Yo. How many 6th-level spell slots does he have? Where do I go?
Stay on the character sheet.
Just the one. Okay. So we're going to nope, dang it. Get back here. This one.
I'm going to alt. Nah, I'll let you continue on if you're ready. Go for it. Yeah, there you go.
Chromatic orb. And I get to choose damage type, so let's do lightning. Or no, we'll do fire. Fire seems good.
You hurl a 4-inch diameter sphere of energy at a creature. In this case, you're using the element of fire.
Yep.
You make a spell ranged attack, which you did, and you got a 28 on it. So 29 points of damage. Unless he should get advantage on it.
I wasn't sure if he did or not, so I went ahead and rolled at advantage, but it doesn't look like it.
Artie, do you know the rules for that off the top of your head? If not, I'm gonna just roll it as.
Sorry, miss it one more time.
So he's below him, but you're next to him. So I'm rolling it as advantage and disadvantage offset. So it's just a regular roll.
Okay, yeah,
Okay.
they usually cancel. I'm under the table still.
Oh, you're under the table. Okay.
Yep.
That's right. All right. So yeah, I mean Baracus is still flanking. All right. Anyways, with that, Lamar did good. Fire has been spurted out, and it hurt him, and he's going to have a violent reaction to this. And thankfully, Artie's underneath the table. I'm glad you remind me of this. When you hit him with fire, he unleashes a bone barrage. He screams, bones point out of his flesh and shoot out. For Artie, what you see is sharp bone projectiles shooting through this table and just poking out really close to your face. Baracus, you're within range, so I'm gonna need you to give me a dexterity saving.
Okay.
As well as Nixie. Actually, no. You said you didn't follow the statue, so you're still up there, correct?
Yeah, I'm still up there.
Okay, so Lomar and Bone Snapper. Right. So both of you failed, so you both take the 24 piercing damage, which drops Lomar to almost half health.
Ooh, I should have moved him. Oh well, I can't move him.
With that, Nixie, your turn.
Okay, now I'm gonna fly down and hit him.
All right, you are raging. Please do.
Do I have advantage or anything?
If you fly to the other side to where Baracus and you are flanking him, yes.
Okay. Does the 17 hit?
Yes, it would not.
Okay, and now I get to add my D3.
Are you rolling with advantage? Or do we not have it?
We do. I just have my little bolstering magic thing. Okay, does a 20 hit?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, and after my second attack. Does a 26 hit?
What is the AC?
Okay. 26 would.
Sorry, I
Okay.
only heard 20, so I was like, 20 hits, yeah.
So another 12 slashing damage.
And that was the magic number, actually.
I don't think I was adding my rage bonus for some reason.
Okay. Regardless, you got him to number. Please have that fixed for the next round. Because what happens is Death Row. Upon dropping to 0 hit points, the Bone Trader uses his reaction to shatter its bone armor, pushing all enemies within 60 feet away. This causes no damage, but it does drop any additional effects that would be active on the Bone Trader. If this were to affect something like Hunter's Mark, you can reapply it to him. But if it was a condition like poison, which I don't think he has any on him, that would not carry over. So 60. Small room.
Why did it roll that? I just get +3 to each attack damage for rage.
With that, he has to roll. Everyone, please re-roll initiative. I'm going to clear it. And this begins phase 2. Right now, as he does this, his shirt has ripped open. His chest is now open, uh, well, bulging out of his body so that you can see it, and there's no flesh covering it. You can see his beating heart through this heavy, splintered chest. The rest of the bones on his body are breaking out, splintering, as you will. His ever-present smile is cracking as his teeth have been ground down and are getting disjointed. He's not a happy camper right now.
I couldn't
Also,
select my token.
oh, did I put you in an odd spot? I can set it for you.
Nope, I didn't see me under the turn tracker. That's my fault.
Okay. Yeah, I mean you got 19 on it, so we can set it.
Lomar's at 18.
You said Lomar was 8.
1-8, yes.
Also, I know one person who would be very happy about this. This is a new initiative. So this is the first round of this initiative.
Oh,
I know we talked about it and I went back and forth on it. But this is a new first round.
I don't
For
get
phase
sneak
2.
attack though, right? I mean, not. I don't get surprise, right?
So you went up there, you weren't really hiding. Things have gone down. He's mad. If you want to try to pull it off, I'm going to need you to convince me.
Well, I mean, I was trying to hide behind a pillar up there, but yeah, not highly.
I mean, you have advantage because you're shooting from the second story.
I have advantage, and I have all the benefits from a first attack of a new initiative.
If you have advantage, then you get sneak attack damage.
Well, yeah, but no, the surprise round I don't get, right?
Right, yeah, this is not a surprise.
Okay. Coolio. My turn. Go.
Your turn, go with Artie on deck.
There's my character sheet. And so, right, 6, 13. So 16, 26, 31. 38. 59. Yeah. And I'm gonna burn with my bonus action, attach this to one of my arrows. Where to go? Purple, that is. Got one vial of that.
And that's a con saving throw.
I think it's just straight, yeah. Yeah, con saving throw. Which he does not make.
Okay.
And
Good. All right. With that, sorry, coughing. Although you did try to hide, you were within range when you were hitting him. He used his legendary action
Cool.
to counter that and throws pieces of his bone at you. Does a 15 hit your AC?
Nope.
All right. And so his bone's shooting off at you and misses you. So with that, Artie, your turn. You have been pushed pretty far away, and this guy's getting scarier and looks like he is getting more erratic in his actions.
He
What do
pushed
you-
me away. He pushed me away from under the table.
Yes.
Okay. I thought I was still under the table. That did not. Uh,
It's a game mechanic I need for this phase thing to work.
oh, good. I just want to make sure.
Unless you want.
Oh, okay. No, that's good. I can still do what I want. I thought I had to touch, but I don't. I look at where he's standing on top of the table, and I say, I'd watch out if I were you. And I cast grease from him standing on top of the table, and cover all of the table where he's standing and been on, or wherever he's standing, in grease.
Ooh.
And him, if I can splatter it on top of him and on the floor. If I can't cover him and only the floor, then I choose just the floor.
All right, I'm pulling up the grease spell just so we can all see it. So, yep, slick ground. Grease appears. Each creature standing up must succeed on a dex saving throw or fall prone. There we go. Dex saving throw, because that's his favorite. He is prone.
Fall into the pit. Fall into. Oh.
Prone. Nice attempt though.
Get him, boys.
There we go. I'll use the net for falling prone.
And Artie runs back underneath the table.
Nice. There you go. And sending that to the map layer. Or not, whatever. With that, Artie is gone. I've got Nixie. You've been flown very far away. And Lomar's pretty close to him. And this guy's looking crazed and mad. But greased and prone. What are you doing?
I'm gonna fly up the 30 feet and smack him again.
Yeah, y'all picking a good room for this made that mechanic not so good for me, making him more intimidating.
So 26, I mean, 28 will hit.
Yep, 28 will hit.
Why isn't that working?
Remember,
Okay,
he's
so
prone. You have advantage.
I have advantage.
You do have
I
advantage.
should roll to see if I crit.
You should.
I do not crit. So he takes 11 slashing damage.
All right.
Now for my second attack.
While that's going on, Lomar is on deck.
Whatever he's doing, I'll put it up there.
Neither of those hit.
Yeah, an 18 won't hit.
Nope, nope, nope. But he will smack you with his bone club for 25 points of damage. But you're raging, so that's halved, correct?
Yep.
Lomar's gonna move away. Like, way over here.
Lomar's moving away. Bravely running away. Brave Lomar. Is he doing anything else?
Hold monster. So, wisdom save, DC 17.
Can you ping again where you want me to send him to?
Let me math for right now. Right there.
Okay.
He made it.
He
Sure.
makes it. He's a pretty wise guy.
Yep.
Anything else?
Ixnay on
That's
the wise.
all Lamar Scott.
More dexterity, a throw a.
Baracus Bone Snapper got Nixie on the other side of this guy. There is the hole right there, but you can still get to him.
Me not trying to throw myself into an early grave, so I'll avoid the hole. But me get on right side of him. Burn a second wind for the invigorating power of Grumsh within me. And as I'm walking towards him before I get into range, I say, "May the one eye confuse your gaze." And my body is blurred.
Oh,
So on top of that, I'm going to go ahead and get my extra actions in.
please do.
So let me go ahead and just get the second wind count real quick just before I do the action surge. Nice. Almost max. So 20 hit points back to me.
Nice.
Much needed. So that'll pop me up to 59.
Yep.
And now I'm going to take my action surge. Oh, let me put blur up there for you too. Okay, and here comes the boom.
Here comes the boom.
And this is with advantage, correct? Because he's prone.
He is prone. You have advantage. He's also flanked by Nixie.
Okay, great. Taking 3 attacks at advantage, two-handed.
Please do.
Big disappointment there.
Yeah.
Seriously?
Aw.
Yeah, I think I'm just going to clock out for the night.
Oh man. I mean, that's not
That's
much.
depressing. And that's my turn.
Awesome. I don't know how he got undercutter, but there we go. Fix that before that became an issue. With that, he at the end of your turn, he's going to use his last legendary action to smack Nixie. Actually, he should be smacking you, but all right, he's smacking you. And critically fails. Please give me a 1d100. Brockus Bone Snapper.
I'm sorry, say that one more time.
A 1d100.
Is this an effect of some kind on me?
No, against him. He critically failed trying to strike you.
Oh, fantastic. All right, let's do this.
That is a 38. So as he is using his legendary action to get at you, even though you missed, he is greased up like a pig. What? As soon as this page loads, I'll tell you exactly how he looks silly. All right. So with that 38, as he attacks the opponent, oh, this is perfect. He sees you in your many blurred state, and the one-eyed one is indeed peering into his soul. He is afraid of you for 1 round.
That is fantastic.
Yep. And with that, he is going to run away from you. So you'll have an opportunity attack against him.
Still with advantage, or
Yep.
because
still with
of, because of
advantage.
flanking? Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
And crit.
Oh, please. Yes. Redemption.
Okay. There we go.
The 19 points of damage carves into him as he screams in fear away from you. Uh, as he's uh, fleeing from you, he's beating up Nixie. 26, a 26 and 18 will all hit Nixie, correct?
Yep.
Does
Okay.
he trip?
But all of these will be halved. What was that, Cutter?
Does he trip in the oil?
Good question. What's your DC again? 16, right? Artie?
Correct.
He does not. He makes it out of there. He's still greased up, but with no negative effects. And you actually hear the aggressor say, Butterball. Yes! And his final attack against Nixie will be Skelisuck. And 25 will hit. Please give me a Constitution saving throw.
Don't you make those advantage while raging?
One sec.
Advantage.
Yeah. Advantage.
Yay, you made it. So it does get into you, and he's trying to suck out your bone. But you're able to pull away in time before he is successful in this attempt. So with that, that is the end of his turn. Top of a niche. Cutter. What are you doing?
Wait, why am I? Did I close mine? No, here it is. So one bow shot, and 16. Low rolls. But yeah. So 26.
Okay, 26. And you'll burn through his first phase. The second one. Creeping along. Anything else good?
That's my turn. Well, I guess to hide again, but
Okay, give me that high check. While you're doing that, Artie, you're on deck, and under the table, you see greased but not slippery feet on the floor over there. What are you up to?
I say, we're not done yet. Uh, wait, Artie, give me some of that. And I cast web. Give me another dexterity save, motherfucker.
I like it. You found a weakness, y'all keep exploiting it, and he's rolling really good against it. I'm sorry.
Patui, well, it's worth a try. And I stay under the table.
All right. With that, Dixie, your turn. What are you doing? A web came flying out from under the table, and the bones just shredded it instead of sticking him to the wall.
Okay. I'm gonna hit it like I always do. I'm guessing he is no longer prone and I do not have advantage, right?
Correct.
So 20 damage.
Ooh.
And an additional 12 damage.
Okay. Additional 12 damage on top of that. The bones are splintering and breaking. His chest cavity is still very much secured. With that, I have a Lomar, whose turn it is about to be. But before that, the Bone Trader clubs out towards Nyx and does an additional 9 points of damage because you take half. Lomar, it is your turn. What is Lomar going to do, Cutter? Another chromatic orb. All right. Unfortunately, 14 misses.
Yeah. Does he get advantage on that or not? Because Nixie's near him.
I'll give it to you because now he doesn't have anything counteracting it.
Yeah, his plus will get that.
Okay.
21 fire damage to a greased up ogreish.
Actually, yeah, would have given it to the grease, but unfortunately, that does hit with his bonus. Yeah, he's got +9, so 21 fire damage. As the fire goes out, it starts to dwindle, but it catches the grease and grossing him in fire, and the ogress starts sniffing. Cooked butterball. And the grease has been completely consumed in this, though. And I don't know why I just overjumped Baracus, but Baracus, it is still your turn, and you hear Nagnash outside the room calling, wanting to be called in.
Nagnash, if you want to join in on the fun, by all means, feel free to participate.
All right. Because it was a humanoid, it wasn't ready to go in without your explicit approval. That's what I'm rolling with, anyways. But it is your turn. What's up?
Okay. I'll go ahead and close the distance and make my attacks. Let's see here. think I got enough movement to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, I can go ahead and. Well, would this be flanking if I were here? Right there?
Yep, I'll give it to you. Because that's breaking the that's breaking it.
Okay, cool. So I'll go ahead and Blur's still in effect. Haven't taken any damage for concentration, so that's still up. I'm going to go ahead and take my full round of attacks.
All right. And I'm gonna have Nagnash go at the end of your turn, just so I don't have to worry about putting him on the initiative tracker.
Sure. First one's a miss, 19.
Yep.
Second one's a
26
hit.
hit. Yeah.
Third one's a hit.
Nice.
And bonus attack. Right on the money. So 2 main hits and a bonus hit with the two-headed serpent. So got my 2 attacks at two-handed.
Mm-hmm. Beautiful.
So that is 39 points in total.
And again, with this, you're cracking into these bones and snapping into the bones, and they're flecking off pretty pretty substantially with each swing. You can tell he's starting to feel it.
I
And
should hope so.
here he comes to eat some flesh. Is Nagnash. Multi-attack. Not the button I wanted to push. Beak attack. Ease. Unfortunately, Nagnash is not a magical creature. But daggum if he's not the little griffin that could. Uh, and with that, there's going to be a, because I didn't want to skip it, I went straight to Nagnash. But at the end of your turn, Bone Club failure again. Bone Snapper, give me another 1d100.
Excellent.
I swear, he's afraid of you again. 56. He loses his grip on his attack. He has to make a dexterity saving throw of 10. If not, he drops his weapon at his feet. Not a big loss for him, but let's see if he makes it. He makes it. So he looks foolish for a moment, but keeps a hold of his own bone club, which makes sense. And at the end of Nagnash's turn, he does swing at Nagnash, and thankfully misses. He missed the AC of 11, 12 by hitting an 11. That's beautiful. And then it is his actual turn. He has 3 targets in front of him, and he's not pleased with any of them, so he's going to bonk each one of you. So starting with Nixie. That will not hit. Nagnash will hit. And takes a substantial amount of damage. Then towards Bone Snapper.
disadvantage.
Oh, thank you for reminding me. Well,
Since he's attacking someone else within 5 feet of me, I get to use my reaction.
okay. Please use your reaction. And I'm going with the lesser damage on that bone snapper, so it's only 12.
Perfect.
Because that ties with the lower roll. Nixie's using her reaction to bash him in the face.
13 damage.
Nice. He is still up, and he still has one move left. And you made his choice easier on who he was going to do Skelisuck on. Nixie, and he misses. With that, top of Anish. Cutter, your turn. He is not going down without a massive fight. What are you doing?
My longbow attack.
23 hits. Artie is on deck.
Plus 20. So 34, 41.
41 damage, and it all goes through, correct?
Yeah.
This is just one longbow shot, or is this... Like,
Yeah.
describe this attack to me.
Do what?
Describe the attack to me. Like how's your attack look? I don't have a good feel of it yet.
Oh, Cutter's just like muttering stuff under his breath, causing the arrows to glow as he's popping off very precise shots against his favored foe at the moment.
Ah.
It looks like the arrows are bringing some of the darkness he's in along with them.
Ooh. So, Artie, you're seeing these dark, bone shattering along with extended shadows, sparking, if you will, as Cutter's arrows gash into this creature. It is your turn. What are you doing? And Nixie, you are on deck.
I'm gonna shoot some more fire at it. From under the table because it's been a nice. Oh, it's a nope. 11.
All right. Arturo hacks up a loogie, but not wanting to hit any allies, just goes shy. Nixie, you see a fire snot ball avoid you, but this guy tried sucking your bone out earlier, and Lomar is on deck. What is Nixie doing? I assume she's swinging her axe.
It does say great axe.
Sorry, a great axe. And you have advantage.
9 slashing damage for the first attack.
Seams begin to appear in the rib cage, showing an exposed heart. But instead of a heart made out of muscle, this heart is pulsating bone. You can just barely see it right now.
So I'm gonna use my inspiration to reroll that.
All right.
Are you kidding me?
No.
Wait, can you use advantage to just like give yourself a +3 or something?
No.
Okay.
Sorry.
I don't hit.
It's all right. It's Lomar's turn's next, and then Baracus, and then Nagnash, and then him. So Lomar, what is Lomar ready to do? He's got a nice open shot. He's boxed in by the allies. Oh, also Nixie. Bone club to the face. My 6 more points.
I'm at 57, not 51.
You just took 6 more points, or did you? knock it
I've
down?
been
Sorry,
keeping
sorry.
track on mine.
I'm sorry. Gutter, are you ready for Lomar?
Yep.
All right, what's going down?
Uh, he needs to make another wisdom save.
All right, we'll see how it goes. And he makes it.
He does take 25 psychic damage though.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was to avoid fear.
Oh, so that just bleeds into it? Can you display to VTT what Phantasmal Kill does?
Yeah.
Thank you. Alright, so tap into the nightmares of the creature you can see within range and create an illusory manifestation of its deepest fear. Visible only to that creature. The target must make a wisdom saving throw. On a fail, the target becomes
Dang
frightened.
it. Never mind.
At the end of the target, blah blah blah. Wisdom saving throw or take 4d10. On a successful save, the spell ends. Sorry.
So the fear ends if he saves, but he avoided the fear. So
Yeah, so before the spell ends, and the target must succeed on a wisdom saving throw or take. So it looks like he doesn't take the damage.
oh, never mind. My bad. I didn't have long to look over at all.
It's okay. Yeah, how much damage did you? It was 25. Okay. All right. And so he has a moment of fear, and the heart skips a beat and continues to beat onward. Baraka's Bone Snapper. You notice this skipping beat, and you know that with a few really good hacks, you can get to that heart. What are you doing?
I'm going to go ahead and get on my trusty steed to protect him. By getting on my mount, all attacks directed at him, I can redirect to myself, keeping him safe.
Nice.
Now that I am also on him mounted, all attacks I take against a creature. That is the question. He's considered large, so he's not smaller than Nagnash. Is Nagnash's turn still before the collector?
Correct.
Then I'll have him. I'll direct him to come to where I am, and we'll do the alley oop mount where I am currently. That way, I still have advantage for the position that I'm in. If you're amenable to that.
I'll allow it as part of his reaction with your interact with object.
If need be, we can drop my initiative to whatever Nagnash's was. But
Yeah, no, I'm good with this.
Okay.
Specifically because you've done enough combat with this creature that this should be a very simple action for y'all to take.
cool. And now I'm going to take my full round of attack.
Awesome.
First is a fail. Second one's a fail.
Actually, okay, never mind.
Third one hits 24. Bonus is a hit.
All right, on that second hit, how do you finish it? After the first hit, it exposes this bone pulsating heart. The look of fear is in his eyes as you cleave back. How do you end him?
So the Gorgash axe head comes down, exposing the spot with the first hit. And after seeing it, with a mighty upswing of the second head of the double-headed axe, cleaving up towards the heart, with a spray of blood up across his own face and the ceiling. Um, and I'll let you do the honors.
Spraying to the ceiling. It. Uh, Give me a 1d4.
Oh my!
I had a few different ways I wanted this to play, and I like this one the best.
A 4 it is.
All right, and so that will be awesome. A shower of bones explodes, causing no damage, um, and showers down all over you and Nagnash. Along this are bits of his flesh. Um, the heart, though, pulsates a few times uh, in its broken state, in all its little pieces, and it looks like they're trying to, like a T-1000, make their way back together, and then cease.
I'll pick the heart up and throw it in the fire.
It does not burn.
Oh my.
I'm gonna stab it some more.
Is there anything I can salvage from its body?
I mean,
Wow.
depends on how much he destroys it.
I'm trying to get in there before she goes fucking to shit bonkers.
On its
Well,
heart?
she's just taking the heart. I'm still standing over the body.
So with
I-
this, the there you know that there's plenty more to salvage from his shop. However, this particular bone trader can its regular bones can be smashed, and the parts that he used for armor can be smashed into a paste. And if you mix it with the correct coagulants, with an herbalism kit, and I'm giving this because Artie knows all the kits, it you could apply it to a shield or weapon. You're not really sure what this will do, but you know that this will do something. You need to tinker with this.
What can I call it in my inventory?
Ready gunk.
Ready gunk.
I give Nagnash, uh, hearty pat on the back of his nape of his neck, and I say, "If not for you, my friend, this might have taken much longer." Very good.
Destroyed the heart yet?
The additional part is this is uh, an elder bone trader. We'll call him.
What was the name of
And
that stuff again, real quick? Sorry.
Ready gunk.
Ready gunk. Sorry. Thank you.
Not Flex Seal.
No, not Flex Seal. Slap it. But the heart is another piece. You don't know what you can do with it yet, but the magical properties, or fey properties are worth investigating.
A little bit of dust, bone juice, and a heart. Sounds like
Nixie
D&D.
is still trying to destroy this heart as much as she can.
Nope, Nixie, stop it. Mine. No,
No,
mine. Stop.
no, I
Yep,
want to
yep.
kill it.
No. This is going in my pocket. This is not.
No,
destroy it.
you're no.
No,
You're gonna
no.
have to persuade me.
I'm just going to take it.
No.
She is still raging, and as you approach her, you can see her glowing.
I will throw my body in front of it.
No. That's not a good idea. You will be hit.
I'm going to throw my body in front of it.
All right. The party has come at odds, one wanting to destroy this item, and another one choosing not to.
One
Not
choosing
even
not to.
trying to convince them not to.
Thrown his own body in a means of swaying the other. The
You're just
Fae in
pissed
her
off. You don't
rage
know anything.
sees this. Does she continue in her rage, or does she power down? I'm just a mediator at this point.
Fine.
All right. She is standing aside.
Oh,
In-
Jesus God, I thought I was going to die.
You're lucky I rolled high. I have a +0.
Still coming off of her rage, Nixie speaks in tongues. Talking about rolls and zeros.
Just
You're
clutching
lucky.
the heart, not looking.
You're very lucky. That thing needs to die. Why are you doing this?
Give me some time. Just not. You're really skeptical of magic, aren't you?
Yes? Did you see
I'm
the
like-
bones? They tried to come back to it. No, it needs to die.
Well, no. It's in pieces now. It's in shambles. I'm telling you, as the caretaker of this item, it is inert and will not do bad things.
Arcana check?
Mm,
More
I
like
guess I'll
I don't
believe
know.
Like, okay, you know that might be true, but the probability is just as good that it's not.
Hey, the glass is either half full or half empty, but you got to say the sentence, man.
Yeah. Yeah, that is so true. It is definitely a gamble in its current state, especially if you keep the heart separate. You think you're increasing your odds of not having any negative consequences, but that's just your best guess.
Yeah, I'm gonna spend some time on the heart when I get a moment.
Do you keep the heart pieces separate, or do you keep them together?
No, I actually taken. I actually have 2 bags, I believe. I have a backpack. I actually have a separate backpack itself. So I actually put it in the other separate satchel, and put it up on my shoulder and be like, yeah, best to keep it away from the other magic stuff, just in case.
Oh, good gosh. Uh, Sorry, I just saw what Bone Snapper posted. Indiana
Heart
Jones
snapper.
and the Kalimash.
And I shall call you Kali.
Kali. All right. So the heart is now Kali. You have it. And sorry, I was laughing and coughing so hard that I did not hear where the heart pieces were being stored and how.
I actually have a separate backpack, a separate satchel for my equipment, and I put it in the bag by itself and cinch it up real tight.
Okay. It is in the bag by itself with nothing else. Got it. Awesome. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Congratulations. Yes. Well done. Well done. He's still in his sanctuary bubble, so nothing can come out. He does have food in there, oddly enough. Or not odd at all. It would be surprising if he didn't. Well done. So he's down, and well, my good friends, let's divide the spoils. Yes? Do you want any more of his remains? I noticed you took his heart.
Um, is anything else useful? That's all I could figure out. Is there anything else that maybe you can have the rest? It's all you, bro. If you want some of this.
Oh, excellent. Most excellent. And he collects all the bones and sticks it into a rather nice sized bag where he was pulling out the picnic stuff. Looks into it and oh no, wrong food. This one. And he has a separate bag and he puts all the bones in it. Yes, this will do quite nicely. I already have my man going through and itemizing what's at uh, the big ones location. Uh, But again, if you wish to take first dibs, please, there will be an inventory left behind, and you can trade out what I've left for you for something else on the list.
Dibs
Okay,
sounds good. I'd like to check the list for dibs.
let's go.
I'm mostly looking for the scrolls and books and rare items and all the lovely food and drinks he had stored.
Those don't sound as appealing to me.
They might to Lomar though. Shall we go plunder his lair?
Alright. Ah. Do 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 do. You killed my boy. He is now down.
Look what they've done. They've massacred my boy.
That was really good.
What shall the repercussions be?
Yep. And on top of that, five. I'll put this on y'all's character sheet, but just so y'all know, y'all earn 5,200 XP each for that fight. That'll be going to Lomar as well. And
Oh, I couldn't tick off his spells, but he has no 5th or 6th level left, and only 1/4 level left.
All right, that's fine.
He did a lot of damage, though.
Him and you both, y'all freaking destroyed his phase one. I'm also buying for time because I'm pulling up the loot.
Is that the first XP we've ever gotten?
No,
That's the first you've ever told us about.
you got some from the coral gazers you killed when you arrived in the city. From the cultist y'all took out. Actually, no, you didn't get any for that because they were so low level. Awesome. And here we go. Your portion of the gold. And this is just the coinage from the big guy's place. You, when you look at the log that's left behind in his shop, you actually see that this was evenly divided amongst the coins. Um, so here you go, 64,037 gold pieces, 3,700 platinum pieces, or I think it was 64,037 gold pieces in total. 3,700 platinum pieces, 26,000 gold pieces, 10,000 silver pieces, 3,700 copper pieces. So that is a little more than enough to get the dining hall completed.
We still need to haggle on that.
At the original price, I think I gave y'all.
Yeah, we might just bulldoze it and use it for the land value at this point. We could build an entire, like military encampment for a lot cheaper.
So again, this was a huge freaking haul. The 10 gold piece gemstones, 50 gold piece gemstones times 3. I'm not gonna read through all of this. I'm gonna hit some of the highlights. The gems are probably gonna be more interesting to the wizard in case any of these are ones he'll need. But the art, let's see, the embroidered silk handkerchief. That embroidery is of the uh, Bowengrot family. It's got a nice bee on it. The pair of engraved bone dice. They're just ornate bone dice. Nothing really special about them, but 25 gold piece bone dice. There's a silver ur, my favorite word to say, as you all know. A large, well-made tapestry, and it looks like the eyes are following you. In case Brock's Bone Snapper was interested in that. And another painted gold war mask. This one does not have the red blood drops, or red teardrops underneath. Yes, and here we go. Some mundane items. Let me change that up. These are not of the of the dragon's foes. There's a battle standard of one of the bone trader's foes. I'm using the dragon horde loot table for this. So wherever you see dragons foes, just bone traders. And now for the ones I think you're most interested in, the magical items.
Hey, we got 65 gallons of clean drinking water.
We're gonna be ready for the stonemason's mead in no time. Wait, hold on. Stout and ale, no mead. That's right.
Yeah.
Can I get a set of the regular polyhedron dice? Because that'd be great right now. Because I feel like I need to be rolling D9s, 13s, 25s, and 34s instead of my virtual dice because they were killing me tonight.
Yeah. A potion of diminution. Another fun word for me to say. I'm reading this one before I give it to you.
Oh, come on. What's in the box?
That was a world-shattering item, so no.
Aren't those the best, though?
No joke.
Just give us the deck of many things. You know you want to.
No, 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 I do not.
Come on. Do it.
All right. Okay. So, do we have any plate armors wearers in the group?
Me, but
Nope.
for that,
I can wear heavy.
Or heavy, yeah.
Yep, I can definitely wear heavy armor.
All right, well, I'll let y'all fight over it. So, plate armor +2. It is not adamantium.
Yeah. So there are times where the crit negating is way better than the AC. So if you're needing it for the AC, then I say go for it. I've got some other things that tend to help me. So if you're feeling strongly about it, I think I would pass.
I have no strong feelings, but it seems you're much more attached to this glowy set of armor that's done a lot that's good for you. I can just eat it and consume it for better because when I take this armor on, it's not really coming off.
you're welcome to the armor. My
I'm not gonna say
adamant,
that. Thank you.
yeah, yes, my adamantine plate and I have survived many battles together. I've stolen the materials from the finest dwarven mines. Screw them.
Wait. Well, I guess they weren't my dwarven.
Right, right, right,
Okay. Well, we'll discuss more about that later. But I mean, wasn't there not my goat to kill? So
right, right. Could go for a goat right now, though. It sounds delicious.
you know what? I'm a little hurt still over the dwarf thing you just went over. So I'll see what I can do.
So, not to put a chink in your armor, but strength 15 is required.
I get to replace it with my intelligence when I make it my magic armor.
Nice.
That's what the artificer's good for,
No
especially
joke.
armorer.
All right. So, apart from all this you see here, there is the log. The log contains lots of herbs. It lists 2 skeletons, one humanoid of near death status. Yeah, so he took those. And you see in a note scribbled next to it, is attempting to resuscitate. In case y'all were concerned of what was going on with that body. It lists several books. None of them seem to be magical in nature. They're historical documents, lore type books, stories of vampires and bone traders and fae. But yeah, those are the main things on that list. I'll give you a more comprehensive list over the weekend because I want to make sure I don't miss anything. But
When your new armor does nothing.
the two dead the 2 skeletons and the near dead person I wanted to get across to y'all specifically right now. And then there's the a note at the bottom. Come see me to discuss the distribution of the establishment. Uh, so the future discussions on what will be done with the bone traders shop, which yeah, as a reminder to everyone.
So, do we want to turn it into a meat hall?
Doesn't matter to me. Dibs on the chapel, though.
The what?
The small building built into a tree.
I can still barely hear you, Cutter.
Oh well.
I heard you wanted a building next to a tree.
Yes. That's the only one I care about.
That's not here. This is a shop.
Oh, right. I thought we were talking about back up at the. Never mind.
Oh, forgot to mention this guy's dead.
Yes, that guy.
We lost Baracus. Oh, he's got to head out. Since he had to leave, are we wanting to end it a little early tonight so we don't go too far without him?
I think we can just like bring this stuff back to the guild hall and then go see the ogresh about what to do with this place.
Okay. So hauling it back to your location is going to be a little bit interesting. There's quite a stir going on in the city. Rumors are spreading wildly, and the crowds are pretty thick right now. Most of y'all are able to fly. Baracus Bone Snapper has already flown back on the Griffin. Griffin needed to rest up, and he just wanted to avoid it. So takes the Griffin back to the guild hall. How is Nixie, Artie, and Cutter going back? I assume Nixie and Artie are going to be able to fly, but I wanted to check first.
Yeah.
I'm gonna just do my sneaking thing.
Is there like a nice crate or anything I can pile stuff in?
Yes, there's a nice bone crate.
Lovely. Okay, fill her up.
It is filled up.
I'll carry it back with me.
I'm trying so hard not to cough at the same time you unmute, but I feel like you're unmuting exactly when I'm wanting and needing to cough. So you're able to haul a lot of this. This is heavy even for you, but between you and Nagnash, you're able to get it, no problem. Artie is wearing his fancy new plate armor, correct?
Yes, but it looks just about the same.
All right, but beefier, maybe
Nope, exactly the same.
the exact same.
No upgrade.
Oh, really?
Yep, no upgrade.
Did you already have a +2 plate?
I had
Explain, please.
where was it? I had plate already.
So it just
Wait,
is more glowy now.
yes. Oh, no, it's not. It's not the same. It'll be, damn it, it's infused, and that's why. It'll actually be 20. It'll give me, or no, I'll have a 25 AC standing. Never mind. I have to enhance it and get it equipped with all the right freaking infusions and shit. Sorry, that's my bad. It is an upgrade.
I was gonna say, because
No, yeah, thank you.
all right. Looks like you're still wearing the regular plate.
Yes, I've got to switch. I've got to switch over the infusions on it. It's got that enhanced defense, and I've got to make sure when I equip it, it does that with my intelligence instead of that. And I'm also like encumbered. So there's a few things I got to fix in my inventory with that. I'm going to drag the other set of armor back to our guild, not being able to wear it, and just be like, for when we have minions and other people who need to wear armor.
All right. I put the plate +2 in your inventory. You might have to refresh to see it.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome, sir. And Cutter, you said you're gonna be sneaky. How are you trying to be sneaky?
Just,
Weaving in and out again.
yeah, weaving in and out. This time, being very careful to avoid people at all costs.
All right. At all costs, stealth with advantage. All right. You had a close call, but you were able to make it. So because of how packed it is right now, you tied the DC for that.
Cool.
Yeah. It is getting scarier out there, but you're able to make it all the way back to the guild hall. As soon as I can drag y'all back. The guild hall. There we go. With everything back at the guild hall, where do you decide to put your well-earned goods?
I'm gonna stick them in the treasure room because that's where treasure goes.
Okay. Are you gonna put it in that one chest that had that one chain that really didn't like you?
No, I'm gonna use the other chests that were all empty.
All right. Do you ask anyone to use that chain to lock it up?
No.
Okay. Did Artie really make it through that entire fight without getting hit once?
I don't think he's got it either.
I never got hit.
That makes sense. Cutter made sense, but Artie, man, I'm shocked. Good job. Sorry about that. Still coughing up a storm, but with that, why didn't y'all's HP update? Anyways, y'all go back to the Ogresh's location to discuss what's to be done with his locale.
Yeah, and Brackus can stay here
And guard it.
yeah.
All right, with Bone Snapper so y'all can rest up. Got it. The party is heading there. Most of the party. Anyone not going to visit the Ogre?
Oh, I'm going to visit.
Arturo? And Artie? Also, Artie, aren't you supposed to have like a little flybot thing?
Oh, yeah, sorry, I'm supposed to have. I have a homunculus that's a flying eyeball inky thing, but it wasn't really relevant.
Okay. Just making sure, because I
Yeah.
didn't spot it until now. So,
All right, I'm gonna jump off, guys.
all right.
Talk to y'all later.
Night,
Good
man.
game.
We just lost another party member. I would like to call it. We can hang out and chillax, but
Okay. I'll just end stream because no one's watching. Okay.